Hello there and welcome to Bow Beats. This is another DrumBrute Impact video. Today we're doing kind of a versus between the Digitakt and the DrumBrute Impact. So I'll play a little jam that I put together with the two devices, and I'll also compare them a little bit. And yeah, I know that this is sort of an apples to oranges because these are two very different machines. You can't really compare them. The one here is a sampler, kind of in-depth, you can tweak samples, and the other one is just a pure drum machine, but with some really cool features as well. But I thought it would make for a fun video just putting them together. So here we go. So if we're just comparing the two of them, they are quite different. We have 10 instruments over here. This is fully analog. It has a sequencer, 64 steps, which is similar to the Digitakt, which is 64 steps, and the 8 sample channels. But obviously, as you can hear, the Digitakt can do much more than just drum sounds. For example, you have a chromatic mode. So you can play a drum sample chromatically or create kind of a synth sound. In terms of hands-on control, the DrumBrute definitely wins. You have direct control, and this goes for the Impact as well as the original DrumBrute, over a couple of parameters. It's mostly like pitch or tone. And you have a little bit more control over the FM drum here. And the main obvious difference is that the control here is available on the front panel. With the Digitakt instead, you have the 8 sample channels and you have 5 buttons here, which corresponds to different settings for these knobs here. So for example, if we go into the first sound here, we can go into the filter setting here. Now, if you want to know more about all of these functions, you should check out my big Digitakt overview. I won't go through it all, but being able to tune, set start and end points, if you want to play a sample reversed, and you can use a filter, you have high pass and low pass types, you can set an envelope for the filter. There's an amp section where you can set delay amount and reverb, those are send effects. You have the overdrive as well on the sound. There's also one LFO per track, and you can set it to multiple different destinations. For example, now I'm setting it to panning here. So in terms of options to shape sound, the Digitakt has the upper hand. Now, of course, obviously, it's an apples to oranges comparison. The Digitakt costs, I guess, twice as much as the DrumBrute Impact. On the sound shaping side of the DrumBrute Impact, we have the master distortion. which I think sounds pretty cool. It kind of beefs up the sound. It also kind of compresses the sound quite a bit. So, and you also have the color modes. If you want more in-depth info about that, watch my review of the DrumBrute Impact. But basically, you have 2 different sound settings for each sound, basically. So let's see here. As you can hear now, when I enabled the color, it sounds a little bit different. Now this far into the video, it should seem like the Digitakt is pretty much winning here. It has a lot more sound shaping possibility, but the DrumBrute Impact is of course half the price, and it does offer a very hands-on and quick workflow. So let me just show you. So if we go into a new pattern here, and let's see, let me disable the color mode here. We're in a new pattern, nothing going on here. We can live record into both, which is very similar. So here we have, we can put on a metronome here. And we can set the metronome here with a pre-roll. And as you can hear, it's unquantized, so we're going to quantize it globally. So we have the DrumBrute here. And we have the Digitakt. But what if we want to change up the sound? Well, on the DrumBrute we can just do like this. So it's very immediate in a sense, whereas the Digitakt requires you to learn a bit more. You need more muscle memory in a sense. So for example, if we want to change up the sound here. Now, I might have made it seem quite easy. I added a bit of filter, some LFO and some stuff on it just to make it's just a very simple drum groove here. But the thing is, it took a long time to learn where everything is under these menus. So you have to take that into consideration. And when I'm using it kind of like this on the fly, of course, it's a little bit easier to mess something up compared to with the DrumBrute. I mean, everything's here. But that takes us also to a drawback for the DrumBrute. For some people, You can only save like the sequences and some settings for the sequences. You can't save sound settings. So this is of course a big win for something like a Digitakt. So what I wanted to achieve with this video was not to say that they are similar, the same, they're comparable. I think it shows that they are not. There's so much going on here. You have a reverb and delay, for example. You don't have any effects on the DrumBrute Impact. This is of course twice the price, but it's also a lot deeper. You can do a lot more things with it. On the other hand, this is more hands-on, very quick, very versatile. It doesn't require as much learning. It's also very nice because it's analog, sounds pretty cool. Some of the sounds are very nice for sampling into something like the Digitakt, for example. It's not a apples to apples comparison, and you should pick the one that seems to suit your needs the best. I just wanted to kind of address the question here. And if you want to know more about either products, look at my full reviews. I got a big overview and several tutorials on the Digitakt. I got a big review on the DrumBrute Impact, so you should check that out as well. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button, consider subscribing, and yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. So I hope you have a super pleasant day. Thank you.